Hello students, welcome to the science class. Today we are going to start with the chapter Nutrition in Plants. You already know that all living organisms require food to grow, to repair the damaged part of their bodies, and to get energy to carry out various life processes. First is growth. Nutrients are required for growth of plant. If there is inadequate supply of nutrients, that will affect the plant growth, leading to stunted growth, slow growth, or cell death. Next is repair. Nutrients help to repair the damaged part of an organism's body by building their cells. The area that is injured or ruptured is supplied with various blood cells, or we can say that the blood cells which are damaged are replenished by new blood cells. Next is energy. Nutrients provide fuel in an organism. Nutrients used for energy are carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. When we eat, our body breaks down nutrients into smaller components and absorbs them to be used as fuel for our body so that we can continue with our daily activities. So, we can define nutrient as the component of food that are necessary for our body. For example, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. And the process by which we take in food, that is through our mouth, and its utilization by the body is known as nutrition. There are two types of nutrition: autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition are the nutrition in which organisms make their own food, and it happens in green plants because they have chlorophyll and they can make food by the process of photosynthesis. And on the other hand, heterotrophic nutrition means that when an organism cannot prepare their own food and they depend directly or indirectly on green plants for their nutrition, it is known as heterotrophic nutrition. Basically, animals and non-green plants undergo heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition. Green plants are able to prepare their own food from simple raw materials: carbon dioxide, water from soil, chlorophyll in leaves, and sunlight. We know that carbon dioxide is present in abundance in air, and water, they get it from the soil, the pores in the soil. Chlorophyll are present in the leaves. Chlorophyll are actually present in chloroplast. Now, what is chloroplast? Chloroplasts are present in cells of green plants and young stems. They are green in color and they are present in numerous quantity on the leaves. So this is the reason that the leaves are green in color, because of presence of chlorophyll in the chloroplast, because that chlorophyll, it gives green color to the leaf. Moreover, one most important function of chlorophyll is that it traps energy from sunlight. And if chlorophyll is not present in the leaf, then it will not be able to trap sunlight, and hence photosynthesis process will be not performed, because for photosynthesis sunlight is important. Now you must be wondering that how carbon dioxide gas enters the leaves of the plant. Leaves take in carbon dioxide from the air through tiny pores or holes called stomata. And these pores or stomata, they are located on the underside of the leaves. So now I'm going to explain you what is stomata and what is its function. Stomata. These are the pores located on the underside of the leaves, and these are responsible for gas exchange. Stomata are surrounded by guard cells. As you can see, now this is a leaf. This is the structure of leaf, or you can say this is the surface of the leaf, and on the surface of the leaf you can see the cells. Among the cells, you can see there is a pore that is known as stomata. Suppose this is a pore, this is a stomata, and the cells which are guarding it or the surrounding cells are known as guard cells. Now this is a full image view of the stomata present here, and this is a much larger view. You can see that these are the guard cells and this pore is stomata. In first image you can see that the pore is opened, that is the stomatal opening, and in the second image you can see that the pore is closed. The guard cell has closed the pores, and that is the closed stomata. Stomata allow a plant to take in carbon dioxide. So from this pore, carbon dioxide enters the leaf, which is needed for photosynthesis. And this stomatal pore, it also helps to reduce water loss. As we know that transpiration occurs in plant. Transpiration is the process in which the plant loses extra water, okay, in the form of water vapor. So when the guard cell closes the stomata, then there is no loss of water from here, because now the stomata is closed. So when conditions are hot and dry, the stomata gets closed by the guard cells, and guard cells enlarge to open the stomata pores whenever it requires carbon dioxide. And as you know that photosynthesis occurs during the day, so mostly stomata open during the day only and closes at night, because during the day only photosynthesis occurs. At night, sunlight is no longer available and photosynthesis is not occurring, so stomata closes. So we can say that there are two main functions of stomata. First is when the stomata opens, then there is exchange of gases, and when the stomata closes, then it reduces the rate of transpiration, or we can say that it reduces the loss of water. So these are the two functions of stomata. Photosynthesis. Using the energy from the sun, that is light energy, a chemical reaction takes place in the green parts of the plant, that is the leaves, in which carbon dioxide and water are converted into food. So you can see that carbon dioxide and water with the help of chlorophyll present in the leaf and sunlight, they prepare food, that is glucose. Glucose is the food for plant, and oxygen is liberated out, which human being uses for breathing. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, so that is the reason it is known as photosynthesis. Photo means light, because we need sunlight as the major requirement for photosynthesis. And synthesis means combination of components. So what components we are using here? Carbon dioxide and water. So photo means light and synthesis means combination of components. So photosynthesis means that the reaction in which we use some components like carbon dioxide and water to form glucose and oxygen in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Thus, photosynthesis combines the non-living components of the environment in the presence of sunlight to form food. Now, the food which is synthesized by the green leaves is transported to other part of the plant by the stem. In most plants, glucose is converted into starch and then it is stored in leaves, stem, roots, etc. The stored food in the plant is used by other organisms because some organisms, they depend on plant for their nutrition. Besides, as you already know, that photosynthesis helps to maintain the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, because it takes carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and as a result it gives out oxygen which is needed by other human being to breathe. Therefore, in the absence of photosynthesis, life would have been impossible.